Hello, everyone. Happy Halloween. How are we all doing? It's been a couple weeks since I posted a long form video. I did start a new job. I'm getting used to that. And I've been working on this little Halloween painting for a minute. It's nothing crazy. It's a little bit outside the norm of some of the other stuff I'm working on. I do have a little bit of a story with it. It's not necessarily part of our universe, but it could be. I guess it could be. It could be edited to be part of our universe. I'm not really sure. So yeah, happy Halloween. We've been doing some Halloween arts and crafts in our house. Normally, Halloween is like our favorite holiday. It's the only holiday we get to spend at home with no like familial obligations to be anywhere else. Not that we're unhappy to be anywhere else on the holidays, but yeah, normally it's the holiday we have the most control of. So we're able to stay home. We're able to decide what we're going to do. We're able to decide if we want to keep the house gremlins home or not, depending on the day, depending on what's going on, depending on our plans. It's just a lot more flexible for us. We have not been feeling it this year. We've been really struggling to be in like the Halloween spirit for the first time, I think, in my entire life. I can't wait for Christmas. And like, I like Christmas is nice. I want twinkly lights and I want paper mache like decorations and I want a tree with, decorations. We have multiple trees. We have lots of trees. We do enjoy decorating trees. I know that this isn't Halloween content. I'm just saying I'm excited for Christmas. I'm excited for a little bit of color and joy, I think. But we still did do Halloween crafts this year, this painting being one of them. I posted the other Halloween painting, the jack-o'-lantern, earlier, I think even before October. This painting is a painting of Gwen. Her name is Gwen. And she is the youngest daughter of Lilith. Lilith, mother of demons. Gwen is 300 years old. Lilith is no longer, I imagine if you live forever, you put some time in between kids, have a little hangout, have a little fun, raise some more kids. And I imagine demons aren't really considered grown until they're a couple hundred years old. So this is Gwen. And this is her first human Halloween. And it is traditional for Lilith's children to dress up in traditional human garb. And since, Christianity, don't ask me questions on that. I know Lilith is technically a figure. We're not getting into the religious aspect of it. We're going into lore. Skip all of it. Okay. Since the rise of Christianity, separate from necessarily her, and mind you, they all work together. All the deities in this universe, they're all friendly regardless of how humans see it. But it is traditional for her children to dress in something blasphemous, just for funsies. So she's Gwen is trying on traditional hot girl costumes. And she's not really loving the whole like purity but hot aspect of it. She's not feeling it. She tried to do a sexy Halloween bride. She's like, maybe if I put some blood on it, but then it was like, oh, I'll never get the blood out. And I really like this lingerie set, so I'm not going to do that. And then she tried the sexy nun, maybe like the demon fighting nun who has the slits and maybe a low cut top for a little bit of range of motion because she's a demon fighting nun of some kind. We're going to go with that. That's the point of the outfit, right? She's still mostly covered, but she's got full range of motion in that outfit. And she's just not happy with it. She's not thrilled. So she's like, maybe I skip out on the whole blasphemous thing. And also, she's a little bit goofy. She's a little bit different than her siblings. She's not quite so interested in becoming like a succubus or some other kind of demon spawn that messes with humanity. She likes to craft. Unlike most of Lilith's other children, she has been raised alone. She didn't have any siblings. It's just been her and her mom. And so her mom is obviously a very busy woman. I imagine Lilith gets into all sorts of shenanigans. So she's kind of been doing her own thing. She has lots of siblings, but they're not always around. I imagine she's really into arts and crafts. So she's like, you know what? I think I'm going to make my own Halloween costume. A quick side note, I swear to God, I haven't been coughing for days. And for some reason, I come in here to sit down and record and I'm dying. It's like I've got all sorts of crud in my lungs and I'm like, ugh. So I apologize if I'm like coughing and sound a little weird. But I was totally fine. I know that you're tired of hearing me say I'm sorry for the coughing and sniffling and wheezing, but moving on. So she decides she's going to make her own costume. Gwen is a handy crafter, and she's like, you know what? Let's make some paper mache. Let's do this. I want to be a siren. And I think that her first iteration probably involved a tail, and she's like, I don't have full range of motion. How am I supposed to walk around in this? Maybe I could make a dress, but that just kind of looked like a mermaid dress. So she was kind of bored with that. So she's like, you know what? Who says that I have to have a fishtail? You'll get the idea, right? So she paper maches herself a fish head, and she is thrilled with this. This is everything she had hoped it would be. And maybe her mom walks in and is like amused, but is like, what is going on here? Why? And she's like, Mom, I think this is the right direction. I think this is what I'm going to do for my first human Halloween. And her mom's like, what about the sexy bride? You could have been the bride. And she's like, Mom, it's my favorite lingerie set. I really love it. And she's like, a white lingerie set is your favorite set? Her mom is completely incredulous of this. And she's like, yeah, it's really pretty. And you know what? I got it for my second 100th birthday. I don't want to ruin it. And she's like, we can get you a different white underwear set. And she's like, I don't want to. I just don't like it. I think it's dumb. She's like, what about the sexy nun? You could be like a demon fighting nun. And she's like, the habit hurts my horns. Like, it puts too much pressure on my horns. And I just, it sits right on top of them. And she's like, sweetheart, your horns will come in. I know you're self-conscious. Gwen is a little self-conscious because her horns are still very small. Which is not weird. It's totally normal, but all of her siblings, being so much older than her, have these gigantic horn sets that come and go as they please. And so, of course, some of them tease her, like, oh, look at Gwen's little horns. It's just because she's the youngest. She's the youngest by thousands of years. Her mom hadn't had a demon in a long time. So, but she's self-conscious about them. And she's like, Mom, it's not about that. It's just uncomfortable. I don't want to wear it. And she's like, but why couldn't you at least, like, if you don't want to do the blasphemy thing, that's fine. You don't have to do that. And she's like, why the top half of a fish? Why are we going that direction? And she's like, I am just, a little bit not cool with having my legs wrapped up so tight. It's boring, and I'll just have to sit around and look pretty. And she's like, that's kind of the whole point. You're like, comfort is not the deal here. Hot girl Halloween, you're supposed to go out and, attract men and women and anybody else who looks your way. Like, that's your whole job. And she's like, I don't feel like it. She's like, what do you mean you don't feel like it? This is your very first Halloween. It's your first assignment as a demon. And she's like, what assignment? You're our mom. Like, this isn't a job. She's like, it's just typically what your siblings have done since the beginning of time. And she's like, Mom, it's not for me. I'm not about it. And then Lilith is over here like, oh my God, maybe I should have had a few other demons at the same time. Maybe I shouldn't have just had the one. But maybe this is fine. Who says she has to go out and be just like her siblings? So Lilith is very accepting of this, but a little confused. And Gwen is like, Mom, I just want to craft. And I think this is fun. And I still look hot. And she's like, sure, but the yellow boots? And she's like, I think that the yellow boots go with it. They're like galoshes, okay? It's funny. I'm a fish. I'm wearing galoshes because I have legs. It's funny. And her mom's like, you know what? She's the weird. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So that's where we're at. Gwen has convinced her mom that she should be allowed to go out and be silly and make her own paper mache Halloween costume. And Lilith is just like, you know what? She's just different. That's fine. Her siblings are doing the job of demons. She can do whatever she wants to do. But now she's very concerned about what she's going to do long term. Is she like, are you going to join a knitting circle and then just, talk down people's knitting projects? Like, what's going to happen here? And she's like, why do I have to do that at all? She's like, what do you mean? We are demons. It's what we do. And she's like, but is it what we do? Like, does it have to be what we do? Or is it just something that you thought you had to do? And her mom's like, oh my God, we're going to get into this religious philosophical conversation. Religion is not real the way humans think it is. And she's like, exactly. So why are we doing this? And her mom's like, for fun? And she's like, yeah, but it's not fun for me. So why would I do it? So that's where we're at. Gwen is a demon who's not interested in being a succubus. She's not interested in the souls of humans. She's not interested in making their lives better or worse or interacting with them in any other way than to get to know them. Demons don't in this storyline. The demons are not necessarily, ruining people's lives. Some of them are, but some of them just interact with humans and make deals and do whatever it is they got to do. Succubi also don't necessarily kill people in this storyline. It is definitely like an energy transfer situation. But her mom's like, how are you going to sustain yourself? Because you're a demon and you have to, you have to do something to sustain yourself if you're not living in our realm, if you're living amongst the humans. And she's like, Mom, first off, why do I have to live amongst the humans? Why can't I stay in our realm? And she's like, you have to branch out. You've been alone for 300 years. I'm starting to think maybe I did something wrong. And she's like, come on, that's not fair. Anyway, I think this is a typical mother-daughter relationship. I think Lilith is maybe regretting the choice to keep her so cloistered. She was kind of interested in having a one-on-one relationship with one of her children for once, typically breeding hordes of demons all at one time. Gwen is going to have a great time tonight, dressed up as her siren fish half. Anyway, that's about it for today. If you like my videos, please like. If you're interested in seeing more of them, please subscribe. I'd love to see you here next time. And have a happy Halloween, everyone. Bye.